Welcome to Financial Investing Radio, where you'll learn the secrets for consistent, high-probability returns in the financial markets for additional income to change your life. Grant applies consistent, high-probability trading systems for the financial markets. He's only recently started sharing these tried and true market secrets. As a gift to listeners, Grant is offering his roadmap to high-probability financial control. Go to financialinvestingradio.com and download yours today. Now, here's your host and trading veteran, Grant Larson.
Hey everybody, this is Grant. Thanks for joining. So when I was a kid, I saw an advertisement for a ghost in a magazine. So they had, someone had written the sales copy really convincingly. In fact, it basically said that this ghost would fly. So what really hooked me was that they stated that it would, quote unquote, obey my every command. I still remember that phrase today. It was an awesome hook. Well, I couldn't get my younger brother to obey my every command, so this seemed like a pretty enticing thing to me. So I had been saving my money. My parents ensured that would happen. And back then, of course, we just couldn't order it on the internet. So I solicited the help of my parents. I showed them what a great deal this ghost was, right? I went into sales mode with them. I said, look, it has a scary face. It has a long draping body. And oh boy, it would do, what I'm going to tell it to do. My mother, I can still see her face in my mind. She looked at me in amazement. I could tell that she could tell that I had been hooked. But I didn't want to back down because I had already been sold on this. So I wanted the ghost so bad. After some complaining on my part, and you see my mom kept trying to stop me. After some complaining, she finally agreed to let me learn my lesson. Of course, I didn't realize that at the time, but she's like, okay, Grant, go ahead. So she helped me retrieve money from the bank, from my bank account. So, back then you had to get in the car, go to the bank, get my money out. She supervised me as I wrote out the order. So I'm putting my name on it, Grant Larson, putting my address, all that sort of stuff. And I put it in the mail along with my money. Now, it took an eternity. So apparently, ghosts have to travel from some other place far away in order to get to me. So that's what I was assuming. I'm sure it was only a few weeks, but for a young kid, that still represented a significant portion of my life. So I waited a long time, and it just was so painful because this ghost was going to do everything that I told it to do and more. So the day came and the ghost arrived. I was beyond excited. So my first confusion was that the package in which it arrived in, it was so small and flat. So I thought, that's interesting. Well, maybe the ghost self-inflates was what I thought. Well, I wasn't sure. So I opened the package and started to pull everything out and started to follow the instructions. And it turns out that the contents were very simple materials that I already had access to, right? So it included a balloon for the head that had a face drawn on it. It had some plastic wrap that represented its quote-unquote draping body, and that was connected to the head, which was the balloon, with a paper clip. And the final piece was a string that connected to the balloon, to the head. So what I had to do is I had to blow up the balloon. So the way that I discovered, the way in which I would command the ghost would be to run around with it following me, obeying my every command. So within moments, I realized that I had been duped. Oh boy. I tell you what, there's a lot of duping out there, right? Sometimes our investment strategies, they may have some similar components. So the sales copy may be very convincing, right? The elements of the investment, though, are not what you think or thought that they should be or would be. Sometimes we ask ourselves, should I keep my money in the bank or should I invest it in something else? We have to identify the risks, of course, of these opportunities. I have friends and acquaintances who have been duped by the sales copy of opportunities and have lost a lot of money. So, investment areas such as real estate, the markets, new technology companies, all sorts of areas, right? They're potential targets for scams. And so, as you already know, don't just check the references they give you, but find other sources to verify what's being sold to you. So if you're not careful, it'll end up being a ghost that doesn't fly, right? Just like this example that I shared with you. So again, be careful. If you're not 100% sure, leave that money in the bank until you're able to really check through your own sources. All right. Hey, thanks for joining me, and until next time, invest with care and watch out for fake ghosts.
Thank you for joining Grant on Financial Investing Radio. Remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Don't forget to download your free roadmap to high probability financial control before you make an investment decision. Visit financialinvestingradio.com now.